There's a springtime ring to have a friend right in your corner. Your heart will feel a little warmer. Tender loving care, tender loving care. Each warm and friendly touch lets someone know you care so much. Tender loving care, tender loving care.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Greenbrier Almond, and thank you for joining us on our program, Tender Loving Care. My, time flies, and this is about 37 going on to 38 years that we've been doing this. And we have a very special guest today, Veronica Grant. Veronica, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Doctor. I appreciate it.
And actually, we're in your shop, and I was admiring this wonderful stonework that your husband has, at least as a talent, has a talent with stone.
He is, and yes, this was actually the first thing he had ever done, and his stepfather taught him on this wall when we built this house. So yeah, he's very talented.
Well, it's lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And but we're also you have interest, and you have some drives to save animals,
Yes.
save pets. Pet Door Rescue. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then this interest in Pet Door Rescue.
Okay. Well, for starters, I've loved animals my entire life. My mom used to laugh at me. I would bring home animals that I found in the woods.
Wow.
You know, and she was a nurse, so she actually, I remember her bringing one of the doctors home from the little clinic in Helvetia one time because I found a cat that was shot with a bow and arrow. And the ending wasn't very happy. That we had to put the cat down and had leukemia in the end. But so the arrow wasn't actually what killed it. But since then, over the years, I've had several animals and saved several animals. And met friends along the way that had the same interest, same drive, same desire to save animals that were neglected. And so 3 of my friends, Veronica Kreitz, Jenna Kelly, and Carla Campbell, we got our heads together and decided we were all saving animals anyway.
Okay.
So why not form a group? And we have gotten our nonprofit status. We're tax exempt, and we try to do everything that we possibly can to save as many as we can. We do not have a facility. We operate solely on foster homes.
And you work with the local veterinarians?
Yes. We basically work with Upshur Veterinary Hospital.
Okay.
A couple of our members work there, so it makes it pretty easy. And Dr. Flesher and Dr. Pickens are pretty much on call for us 24/7, so they've been extremely helpful. And yeah, we don't know where we would be without them. They've really stepped up to help. And
we have the Pet Door Rescue. The Pet Door idea intrigued me. You got the chance to be creative and select your own name, but on the back door of our house, we bought a door, and the carpenter said, "This is the first time I've taken a $300 door and cut a hole in it." But we made a pet door, and our cats would go in and out. They love it, and of course sometimes the stray cat will come in and get some food too. But that's what you're talking about, the pet door that you can commonly see?
We kind of pictured ourselves as the only way out for some, and our logo underneath of the Pet Door Rescue, the PDR, actually our motto.
And you have a shirt. My goodness, this is much more organized than I thought. So, folks, I'm talking to a pro here.
Not really, but this is actually one of our. This is one of our shirts from our 5K last year. We do a 5K. It's one of our fundraising events. So. This is from that. But,
wonderful. Yeah.
So we do have our motto is the only way out for some because of the pet door. Pets go in and out all the time, and that's kind of the way we operate since we don't have a facility.
Right. Well, let's identify also for the public in case they want to get in touch with you.
Okay.
You can go to Pet Door on Facebook,
Yes.
right? That would be-
We are on Facebook. You can call cell phone number 304-439-1172. Or you can email petsareamust@yahoo.com. That's PETS, the letter R, the letter A, MUST@yahoo.com. And leave us a message, send us a Facebook message or whatever. And we will get back to you as soon as possible. All of us work regular jobs, so this is all volunteer work.
Okay.
We do it when we can.
Wow.
So,
This is
yeah.
great. Well, the other emphasis of our program is tender loving care,
Mm-hmm.
and you are showing tender loving care to animals.
We try our best, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We pride ourselves in being no kill. Of course, sometimes you get a diseased animal in.
Sure.
You don't have much of a choice, but we try our best to save everything that comes in, if at all possible. We have a major emphasis on spaying and neutering. That's
Okay.
the answer to the overpopulation
Sure.
of especially cats, but dogs also. And the spaying and neutering is the answer.
Okay.
To the-
And Dr. Fletcher, I know over the years has been helpful. I don't know Dr.
Yes.
Pickens. He's new.
She,
She's new.
Tanya
okay.
Pickens, yes.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
that's good that they're growing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're very good to help us. We trap feral cats,
Okay.
and they allow us to bring those in basically anytime and drop them off, and they work them into their schedule.
Okay.
Because many cats out there that people drop off, or that are born in the wild, and then of
Yeah.
course they are feral. Those cats keep reproducing. So the answer is to get those cats
Right.
spayed or neutered, and they clip their ears, so if someone else catches them, they know that those have already been fixed.
Okay, good.
yeah.
I wonder, I mean, you can't see the appendectomy scars.
Right, unless you shave them.
Okay.
But that's our, we really would like to get a feral cat trapping program locally here. It requires some funding.
Okay.
So we have to buy the traps, and then of course.
So people watching this, if they were inclined, they could make a donation.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And because it does cost what you're doing, and you're doing out of the goodness of your heart.
Right. We operate solely on donations and fundraisers, and our fundraisers are usually on our Facebook page.
Okay.
We're posted in the newspaper. The Record Delta is extremely good about helping us advertise
Great,
those.
great.
Tammy Lyons is super there, and but if they would like to mail a donation, that can be mailed to 350 South Tenney Drive here in Buchanan, and we also have a PayPal account, and the email to use for that is thepetsareamust@yahoo.com.
Wow. See, I mean, this is impressive. I would say if you are starting another organization of any kind, you should call Veronica. Right?
Oh, I don't know.
You sound like you know exactly what you're doing.
We have had a lot of help.
Yeah.
We really have a lot
Yeah.
of help, and the community they've been phenomenal backing us up and
Yeah.
really coming alongside helping support us.
Yeah.
So we're very
Well,
lucky.
you know, the other side, and your animal, Molly here,
Molly.
loves you very much and is part of your family.
She is.
She is. When I was working with veterans, and I have over the years, they're very lonely sometimes. I mean,
Yes.
but in the hospital, there was a group in Clarksburg that had dogs that were well trained enough to come to the hospital.
Yes, yes.
Oh, it
Therapy
made
dogs.
the day. Therapy dogs.
Very
It
nice.
made the day.
And many of these rescue animals are therapy dogs.
Really? Uh-huh.
There are a few people in town that have license to take their animals
Okay.
into hospitals, nursing homes, such as the VA and things like that. It's a proven fact. This reduces blood pressure. Stress levels just
Oh, yeah.
plummet. So it's these guys they truly show unconditional love. I mean, you can yell and scream at these dogs. Not that we would do that, but and you can call them all kinds of names, and if you do it in a nice voice, they still wag their tail. They really don't care what the words are, as long as
Yeah.
they're presented in a nice way. But they really are stress relievers, and they do become part of your family. I'm very much a foster fail. I have a lot of animals that we have decided to keep, such as
Okay.
Molly. So we found her a year ago in the snow with little snowballs attached to her. She was frozen,
Right.
and my girls found her and brought her home and said, "Mom, there's a dog at our house, and her name is Molly." So I know when they get a name, they're staying.
That's it. Okay. Now, I know that from time to time, the Humane Society, or the dog shelter, I guess, animal shelter, will announce that they have animals for adoption, or maybe they say it over and over again, but it comes to my attention from time to time. Is that where the best place to adopt an animal from? If say there's a family out here and they have a young child and they just said this is the time.
Yes, yes. There are several choices in that
Okay.
area. There are many rescue groups on Facebook. Most people have Facebook pages these days. You can do a search on Facebook. There's petfinder.com. Petfinder.com covers the nation in,
Wow, okay.
in animals.
So
Of course,
we're going to be we're on a YouTube and there are actually soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan watching this.
wonderful.
And they may, so it's good to know that there's a nationwide
Yes,
way
yes,
to identify
absolutely.
getting a pet.
And locally, we, depending on how many foster homes we have open, if someone calls us and they want a little dog like this and we don't have any, we send them to Lewis Upshur Animal Control Facility.
Okay.
We try to pull from there ourselves. They also have a great volunteer group up there, Love for Animals.
Okay.
Dustin's Angels, several in town. I can't even begin to name them all. There's one that's Whiskers and Claws, but yeah, several in this area
Okay.
alone that really are working together
Yeah.
and trying to solve this problem. And the way people out there can help, the best thing you can do, please spay and neuter your animals, because
Okay,
that
right.
is the answer to these guys being thrown out, neglected, left for dead.
And it doesn't have any downside to the animal.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You know, the vets are, it is not, it's not a harsh surgery. It's very easy. I've watched several of them being done, and it takes about 15 minutes. The vets, you know, unless the animal has a reaction to something, the anesthesia or whatever, which people
Unusual.
could do too.
Could-
Sure,
could be. 1 in
absolutely.
10,000
Very
we hear.
rare, but it
Yeah.
does happen. But for the most part, it's very invasive. Very. It's not bad at all. They wake up, and females are a little more recovery time for them. Males jump and go, you know.
Yeah.
Wearing the anesthesia off is probably, that takes more time than
Right.
anything.
Now, you have a family, your children.
Yeah.
Are you raising a veterinarian?
No, I don't think so. I think I kind of burn them out. But, you know, I've always taught my kids,
Yeah.
which is very important. Education's important with animals. How to respect the animal.
Yes. Yeah.
How to approach an animal, how to pet an animal. My girls have bottle-fed kittens.
Wow.
You know, my son has walk dogs, and you know, they've gone to fundraisers with me, and I just can't even tell you how much they've scooped their fair share of litter boxes. And they don't like that too much, but
like
they know how to
animals.
do it.
Yeah.
And now it's funny because they all want their own animals. You know, when they get out on their own, then they talk about
good.
that. So yeah, they know. And when their friends when they come home and tell me that, you know, well, so and so had a litter of kittens, and I told them they need to get their animal fixed. So yeah, they
Well, that's good.
they
Yeah,
know.
well, part of the reason I brought up about the veterinarian idea is that I was, after I retired from the VA, I began to work out at Rock Cave Clinic, and I would see children primarily, and I would say, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? I mean, this is a typical idea. And over again, people were saying veterinarian.
Wow.
And I
Awesome.
think in part these children had a rough time in their home, and maybe a human wasn't a good thing, and
Yes,
a pet
animal
was a good
was.
thing. And so, I'm sure it's very therapeutic for them
Sure.
to love an animal.
Many kids whose parents go through a divorce, it's great for them to have a cat or
Yeah.
a dog. That's their one person that they feel like they can talk to.
Yeah.
And again, very therapeutic for everyone, elderly
Yeah.
people, me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, you come home from a stressful day at work, and you have someone that just wants to love on you when you get home and cuddle
Sure.
with you at night when you're sleeping, and it's great. It's a good thing.
I'll
Good
tell
stress
a
reliever.
pet story. We have, when our kids were young, our secretary gave us 2 cats, and Romeo, the male, and Juliet, the female. So, of course, Romeo went to Ron's, and Juliet went to Maria. So they got on wonderfully with their animals, and Juliet would like to go outside toward the evening, and but she had this custom. She would climb the hemlock tree next to our house and jump to the porch, and then come over to Maria's window and scratch. And of course, Maria opened up the window and let her in.
Very cute. Very cute.
Every night.
That was their routine.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat that you said that each of your kids had a pet, and both the cats got along. Were they siblings?
They were great. I mean, there was always food. I think they just deferred to each other. I mean, no
we try to match the animal with the home. So if they have other animals, and we try to make sure that the adoptions that we do are going to be compatible with that family's lifestyle.
Right.
So it's important to know, do you have other animals? And we always make sure their other animals are fixed before we place something with them.
Now, a lot of, we have more and more students taking FFA and 4-H projects.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's great. In fact, I'm on the school board, so we have a barn now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we're raising a pig, and among other things.
That's great.
But to breed for other pigs. But the students are doing very well, with their animals. And we have a stock sale every August now, end of July, August. And that's sad. I think that must be a sad time for the student.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the animals are being loved in Upshur County by the students.
That is awesome. We have a lot of seniors that contact us for senior projects. And actually, we have a young lady that's working with us right now, and she helped us with a spay and neuter day, and she got to sit in with Dr. Flesher and watch some.
Maybe a future veterinarian. I mean, she's
could
thinking
very
about
well,
that.
although she says nurse anesthetist, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you can work on people too.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Now, you mentioned your mother was a nurse.
She was, at the Little Meadow Health Center in Helvetia
Okay.
for 22 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
So she.
So that's a wonderful environment. I mean, we have had a family farm that I've bragged about over the years at Hemlock, which now doesn't have a post office, so we're Helvetia.
Helvetia, that's great. Take your business to Helvetia Post Office.
Oh, okay, yes. They're down to about a half a postmistress.
Yeah.
But, so how was that to grow up in Helvetia? Because, I mean, people love it. I mean, there are people like to go to the Hoot to eat, or they might like to go to the festivals as they have them.
Yes.
And
it was a lot of fun. It was friendships that really are family. Still to this day. Just different generations. A lot of times I don't know the kids now because it's been so long. But you grow up, and I remember getting up in the morning, and I would leave the house in the summertime, and my mom really didn't know where I was. And I had my best friends were two boys that lived next door. We were like brother and sister, and still are.
Yeah.
And we would go in the woods, and we would until we got hungry. And one of our moms would either ring the dinner bell or whistle, and lunch was ready, and we'd come in and eat our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then we would head out and go back to the woods.
Wow.
And it was just really neat, building tree houses.
Oh,
and all that
dams
stuff.
in the stream.
Yeah, and
everything.
It was a time and a place that you didn't have to worry about your kids. We could go from one house to the other, and our parents always knew we were okay. So there's a lot of freedom up there. It's a great place to raise kids. Pickens High School, kindergarten through 12th grade. I graduated with 7 people in my class.
Wow, that's a big class.
Big class. Senior skip day, I drove, and so it was very nice though. It's a great. I tell everyone it's as close as you can get to a private school without the financial aspect of it. So it's a great school. A lot of good teachers up there that really have a heart.
Like every place in West Virginia, we need a few more jobs, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah, absolutely. Would be nice.
Yeah, I remember talking to Mr. Richter, and they just had, I hope, a successful
Maple
Syrup Festival again.
Yeah.
And but I asked him, well, what have you learned in all his years making the maple syrup and being there? And he said, well, I hope I've convinced people that saving a maple tree and tapping it is better than cutting it.
Yes.
And I think that's true.
Oh, that's gold coming out of there too.
Oh, yeah.
That's gold.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very good. Yeah. Nothing like good maple syrup. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, if the pet door rescue, we'll come back to that because
Sure.
you're very involved, obviously, and your girlfriend, you mentioned you started
Yes.
the organization. If someone goes on to on the line, and you've given us, and I want to give that again because make sure that people understand, they can go petsareamust@yahoo.com.
Yes.
Or Pet Door Rescue at Facebook, or 304-439-1172 to call. If they would like to join the effort, then do you just meet out at the Upshur Hospital, Animal Hospital, or?
They would have to contact us, and we have several events that go on throughout the year.
Okay.
Just because you don't want to foster an animal because you're afraid you're going to be a foster fail like me and end up keeping them, that doesn't mean you can't help. We have several different areas that you can help in. You can bake goods for a bake sale, or come help us make pepperoni rolls, or we have it's called the Fur Ball in November, which is Fur Ball is our holiday dinner dance.
Okay.
And we have a 5K. We always need people directing the runners for the 5K.
Okay.
And different things that you can do. You can transport animals for us. A lot of things. So if you think you don't have what it takes to be a foster home, or you don't have room in your home, that doesn't mean you can't help.
Right.
Everything helps, and we can always find something for you to do that's up your alley.
Yeah.
Making posters or
Right.
whatever. Computer work is great because none of us really have the talent to do that.
Right. So the people can be involved at any level they feel comfortable.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. And your own life has a spiritual turn too, doesn't it?
It does,
You
yes.
mentioned that God created all these animals.
He did, yeah.
And so you're looking at that as a spiritual journey yourself then.
Absolutely. These little babies are definitely a creation, and God has blessed me with several of them in my lives through many things. They really help you get through some hard times.
Yeah.
But I think that they we were talking about heaven, and I believe my heaven is going to have animals.
Yeah.
I've talked to several pastors, and they all have different opinions, but we all agree that heaven is paradise, and my paradise has animals.
Wow.
So, and I know the word says the lion will lay down with the lamb. So I believe that they're all going to get along, and we're all going to go to heaven and be together. And it's a lot more comforting when one of these guys pass to know we're going to see them again someday.
Actually, when animals can be together, they don't tend to fight, do they? I mean, they're just out there to eat a meal, but they're not out to hurt each other.
No, not really.
The lion and the lamb. I mean, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds.
Right, that's true. If they weren't hungry, they probably would play together. I don't know, but we, in my house, I have several cats. We have 5 dogs, and a total, including fosters, 12 cats. And they all get along.
Yeah.
They spat every now and then. The little dogs like to chase the cats, and then the big dog comes in, and I have a German Shepherd that likes to herd the other dogs away from the cats to protect them. And they have their own little thing there. I don't know. It's instinct. They do. They love each other, and I think a lot of it has to do with raising them together. Just to get along.
Yeah.
So they do well here, though.
I have an animal story. Whenever I was in high school, I did a lot of camping and actually became an Eagle Scout, which I'm proud of that and the scouting skills. But I was up at Hemlock and camping with my dog, and we and I got up in the morning and went down to the river. We had a bridge across. You had to balance yourself, to get across. Just one log across. But anyway, I went down to wash my face and wash up, and took my class ring off, and I put it up on the log. And Briar, we always had our dogs were all named Briar. That's the way Dad wanted it,
Cool.
and I was Greenbrier. So, but anyway, I obviously love that dog, and we were there together. Well, he knocked my ring off. and it fell down, and it was someplace right there. I mean, I thought I could find it because it was just in the bottom of this stream, and it's a clear stream, but I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it, and couldn't find it. But then I told Briar, I said, it's okay, because I didn't have a girlfriend then, so we're dating.
Give it
It's like you give your ring to someone to go
Right.
steady. I mean, that's why you get a class ring.
Sure.
And so I didn't have to worry about going steady.
That's
Go
good.
stay with my dog.
You're better off to give it to your dog, I think.
I think so. But now I have classmates who will get together after 50 years out of high school
Oh,
here
wow.
next
Yeah.
year, and I don't want to say that to any of the girls. But Veronica, thank you very, very much for telling us about Pet Door Rescue.
It's my pleasure.
And we'd love to do some more of this talking like
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
And I want to give the information one more time
Okay.
to make sure that people, if they want to talk to you, will be able to do that. Go to Facebook. That's one of my favorites nowadays. At Pet Door Rescue, and or email petsaramust@yahoo.com. Pets are like the letter R, and a must, M-U-S-T, at yahoo.com, or to call 304-439-1172, and of course leave a message and someone will get back.
Yes, and can I add, I was
Sure.
just sitting here messing with Molly's collar, and one of the best ways, we get a lot of animals and a lot of notification from people who have lost animals.
Mm-hmm.
I have all of my dogs microchipped.
Ah, okay.
And microchipping is one of the best ways to keep track of your animals. It is literally a teeny tiny, like rice size microchip that they inject in the dog right under the skin. It doesn't hurt them at all. And any vet or dog pound anywhere can scan the animal, and it will bring up all the information on that chip.
Wow.
And if they are microchipped, most of them have a little tag. I do my microchipping through Home Again, and it's $17 a year.
Wow.
And it has brought a lot of animals home. So cats and dogs both can be done, but all of your information is registered with Home Again. The vet scans it, and they notify Home Again, and Home Again can reunite you with your animal.
Wow.
So
Just
that's
a wealth of information.
good thing to do.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for
sir.
coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thanks to Channel 3 for the opportunity to come your way each week. We look forward to more programs, especially another one about Pet Door Rescue.
Thank you for watching The Way of Holiness. For more information, log on to www.thewayofholiness.org. Tune in every week for Sunday Morning Church, 8 a.m. right here on Channel 3.